The world is not for the weak. If you were born a man, fate has already challenged you. It will test your strength, your will, your heart. It will show you pain, humiliation, and doubt. But it is not the world that decides who you are. You make that choice. The Vikings didn't have gods who carried them in their arms. They had gods who placed obstacles before them so they could become worthy. They knew that life is not a gift, it is a trial. If they sought strength, they forged it in battle. If they sought respect, they earned it through deeds, not words. Today, I will tell you about the principles that guided the warriors of the North. These are not words for the weak. These are not words for those who seek excuses. These are words for those who want to become something more, someone the world will remember. The Vikings knew that fear is a chain that holds you in place, and in the worst case, it can kill your dreams, your plans, and your life. Fear is not something to be avoided. It is a part of every warrior. True manhood is not the absence of fear, but the ability to overcome it. If you are afraid, it means you are on the right path. Do not let fear paralyze you, because in the very moment you overcome it, you will cross the boundaries of what once seemed impossible. The Vikings were not afraid to sail through stormy seas. They were not afraid of unknown lands, because they knew that only through fear can one truly discover themselves. If you fear falling, you will never learn to rise. Stand up, face your fears, and what once seemed unreachable will become your greatest triumph. Honor is something that does not depend on what you see around you. What determines your worth is not shaped by fleeting victories or defeats, but by your inner stance. The Vikings understood that honor is not just a personal matter. It is something that connects you to your ancestors and your future. For them, honor was like a fire that never died out, no matter how fiercely the winds shook it. Even when the wind twists the tree, its roots remain in the ground. You too must care for your roots and never allow the temptation to stray from your principles to overshadow your true goal. When everyone around you loses their heads, you must hold firmly to your values, no matter how hard the conditions. Honor is not something you can buy or something you can lose on the road of life. It is something you carry in your heart. When everything else fails, honor will be your shield, protecting you from collapse. Fears are like shadows that follow you every moment, but what a man does with them is the key to his greatness. The Vikings never allowed fear to take control over them. Instead of avoiding it, they sought to learn from it. Fear is like a wild horse. If you don't learn to ride it, it will carry you, not the other way around. Instead of hiding your fears, welcome them like an old companion. Recognize what terrifies you, then take on the challenge that will allow you to break through that fear. Only when you stop being afraid of fear itself will you feel true freedom. The Vikings knew that no force could defeat them unless they were overcome by their own fears. So, don't see fear as an enemy, but as a teacher that helps you become stronger. Always strive to surpass what scares you, because only in that struggle do you show your true worth. The Vikings lived in a world where what remained of a person was not only their deeds, but the stories told about them, passed down from generation to generation. Every warrior was part of a greater tale, his own, and that of his people. You too are creating your story, but how you tell it depends on how you live. Always remember that life is not something that simply goes on. It is something you create with your decisions. Like a warrior remembered for his deeds, you must make sure your actions are worthy of a story. The bolder you live, the stronger the stories that will be told about you. Each day is a new page in the book of your life. Think about what kind of story you want to leave behind. Don't be just a hero of one day. Create legendary deeds that will make your name live on for centuries. Let your life be a song sung by all who meet you. The Vikings knew that true strength does not come from what is easy or pleasant. Every real warrior had to go through fire, through suffering, through uncertainty, in order to gain wisdom. There are no shortcuts in life. If you're looking for a path that lets you avoid struggle, you're likely to waste your potential. Great strength is born in those moments when you're forced to face adversity. Instead of seeking the road that tires you the least, choose the one that makes you stronger. When life throws challenges your way, embrace them, because they will shape you into who you truly are. Just like a blacksmith who does not fear heating the steel until it glows red to forge the perfect weapon, so will you forge your strength through hard work. Victory is the result of many difficult decisions and efforts. True power comes from what is difficult to attain. The Vikings knew that a sword is just a tool. Real strength came from the mind. A powerful warrior wasn't just capable of fighting, but could also anticipate, analyze, and strategize. Taking care of your mind is just as important as caring for your sword. A sword may rust, but your mind will always stay with you. So do not neglect your mind. Train it as you would your body. Remember, the way you think determines the way you fight. Wisdom is like a blade that cuts through darkness and guides you toward your goal. When you rid yourself of destructive thoughts, you become a true warrior. The Vikings sought knowledge not only in battle, but also in stories and conversations with others. Become a sage who knows how to turn knowledge into strength. The Vikings knew that every person they encountered could add something valuable to their life. Even in the darkest corners of the world, one can find light coming from others. Closing yourself off from people means missing the chance to discover new perspectives that could help you grow. Every person is a story worth knowing, and every companion on your journey is a potential teacher. Even your enemies can teach you something about yourself. Attentiveness to others is a trait that allows you to grow and discover new paths you wouldn't find on your own. Be like a Viking who treats everyone he meets with respect, for it might be that moment which changes your thinking and leads you to higher paths. Greed is a demon that can devour a warrior's soul. The Vikings knew that gold and silver should not become the goal of their lives. Instead of chasing fleeting wealth, they gathered treasures in their hearts: wisdom, honor, courage. Yes, they raided and plundered the villages of their enemies. But they didn't do it for riches. Gold was merely the trophy of their triumph. The true purpose of Viking raids was to conquer fear and build strength. Don't let the desire for riches make you forget what truly holds value. Like the Vikings who loved their freedom and dignity more than gold, you too must stay loyal to the values that are eternal. The Vikings did not fear death, for they knew it gives life its full meaning. What remains after a warrior is not how long he lived, but how he departed. Life is a journey that leads toward death, and there's nothing in that to fear. Death is not the end, but a transition into another form. The Vikings lived life to the fullest because they knew that what mattered was what they did, not how long they were here. Embrace death with courage because it has no power over how you live. Once you understand that death is merely the next chapter in the story, you'll realize that every moment of your life is priceless. The Vikings were not content with what was easy. Every day was a new challenge, a new opportunity to become stronger, wiser, and braver. The greater the challenge, the greater the chance to prove who you truly are. If you want to become a master, you must go beyond what you already know. The challenges that seem unreachable are the very ones that create true warriors. Fear stagnation, for it is stagnation that keeps you from growing. Seek the kind of challenges that will push you forward and allow you to break through the limits you didn't even know existed. Now you know the principles that guided the warriors of the North. These are not empty words. They are a path walked only by those who have the courage to fight for their place in the world. The choice is yours. You can turn away and keep wandering in the dark, or move forward with fire in your heart and strength in your hands. You are the blacksmith of your own fate, so strike the iron while it's hot